Thank you very much for inviting me to one of your turns. In Glasgow, where I come from, they have a saying which is one singer, one song, which is really meant to stop people at karaoke nights and in the pub from hogging the microphone. Unfortunately, I'm going to give you two very short pieces. First piece is my wife normally writes factual pieces about her travel. Even though she's got multiple sclerosis, she's travelled wildly all over the world, especially to West Africa. And she was ill yesterday, and we had a doctor visit the house. And the doctor was a black man, and my wife immediately said to him, "So where do you come from then?" And he said, "East Dulwich." but she finally warmed out from the village and the street where he was born, and she knew it very well. So this is a little piece about one of the visits to Nigeria. It's called The Garage. This morning we were going to the garage. Travelling in the car was like being in a wind tunnel. Usman didn't like air conditioning in the home or in cars. Consequently, we drove with the windows fully open. The air pouring in was very dry, symptomatic of the surrounding landscape. Usman had come to meet me at the airport. The place where he lived consisted of a block of flats, surrounded by a garden of banana trees and an assortment of palms. Usman had given me his own bed while he slept in the spare room. He had put up a wonderful mosquito net over my bed, making me feel like a player in the last days of the empire. We had gone to visit his brother. On the way out, we stopped to speak to the night watchman huddled in his little cabin and give him some extra money. In December, the nights are cold in the north. Usman appeared to have over 30 brothers, as his father had more than one wife. The number of his sisters was not mentioned. Arriving at his brother's compound, I realised with horror that people were at prayer. Usman, he strolled nonchalantly past the prostrate bodies, and I, taking his cue, followed timidly in his wake. The garage, we stopped near to some buildings, none of which looked like a garage. Leaving the car, I waited at the side of a circular flat area of earth. I began to feel tired. I had noticed a low-rise building on the far side. Outside the building were some children playing at a wooden bench. I set off for the bench, crossing a little bridge over a wide drainage ditch. I sat down on the bench and was joined by a child feeding a large baby from a bottle. It suddenly occurred to me that this was in fact their home and I had arrived uninvited in their space. I felt guilty for my intrusion, but the children were very friendly and curious. They wanted to know why I walked with a stick, where I had come from, and where I was going. But from the corner of my eye, I saw Usman in the car waiting for me. I patiently explained to the children that Usman was my friend, and that now I had to go. The second piece is a sonnet, and concerns myself, as I met my wife and we both worked together at Guy's Hospital. He was quiet, almost taciturn. Sometimes he joined the group for lunch, sometimes he spoke in tongues, a language of physics and jargon. He gave me his business card. He tried to engage me in conversation. He was met with a wall of disinterest. One night I glimpsed the card on a shelf and experienced an epiphany. I was a miserable cow. He was a good, thoughtful and sensitive man. I took up the business card. I called the phone number. We met for tapas.